They brought him up recently, correct?
Right.
But he hasn't fulfilled their wishes, it seems.
It seems. This year, he had some kind of sleep deformation thing.
He did. I read about that.
And he had surgery, and he had a decent spring, and he was doing real well in Pawtucket. He came up. He didn't do a bad job with us. He gave up a home run, but his delivery seems to be a little better. And now, from what I understand, he's back because of the fact that Moss went down. They brought him up, so he's going to be on this trip, this 10-day trip. Yeah. So he has improved, and hopefully it's because of the surgery that he had, and his delivery's a little better, and he can throw more strikes. He's a big kid,
young guy. He cost him some money.
Oh yeah, he got like about $5 million over.
Big,
pretty big bucks.
A guy that hadn't pitched a day in the major leagues.
I know it.
Any other prospects you think we'll be seeing soon, other than those that I mentioned?
We have some guys in Double A again. Still, we have an outfielder by the name of Jeff Corsoletti, who's been hitting well over 300. Who's been with us about 4 years now. He's a good-looking outfielder. We got Michael Bowden, who's a very, very good pitcher. All right. And he's in Double A. Masterson, who just came up and pitched 6 innings, he's in Double A. So most of our prospects, are in Double A. We have a lot of what we call 6-year free agents at Pawtucket, guys that have played in the big leagues that can fill in like a Thurston, something like that. We picked up a couple of AAA players last year, a kid named Carter, who's a pretty good hitter, but doesn't have a real position. So most of our prospects are probably Double A and lower.
So the farm system seems to be working, that producing kids and players that you may have use for in the future.
Oh, definitely. It seems that, we have those 2005 draft kids, which included Ellsbury. There's about 4 that are in the big leagues right now, which is good, So from about 2004, 2003, we're starting to see some of the, the roots of the minor league start to take place, where we're bringing up at least 1, maybe 2 kids a year.
So that's the way really to build a team, isn't it? Rather than try to trade, you build your own prospects and bring them up.
When Theo came in here as general manager, that was one of the things he emphasized about, really getting our farm system to work. Because going back to where I've been with the Red Sox, it's starting to seem a little like the 70s and 80s when all those players came up and we could field a team of like 9 farm guys. We know the Fisks and the Rices and the Linds and all those guys.
That's where it should be.
Really.
Yeah. Tell me, we're going to stump the viewers now with this one. Charlie Zink. Who's Charlie Zink?
Charlie Zink.
Charlie Zink, folks. Never heard that name, I bet.
Charlie was originally a position player, who we were getting ready to release. Similar to what Wakefield was getting.
That name,
I know. And by the way, just a point, his agent happens to be Jim Master Alexis, a Watertown graduate who played baseball for me at Watertown.
There you go.
Who's a lawyer, but also an agent.
Wonderful,
he has Manny Del Carmen, and he has Charlie Sink, and he's got a couple other guys. Jimmy's going to be, by the way, at the Hall of Fame induction on Friday, which, by the way, Mr. Najarian is going into the Hall of Fame.
We don't have
ladies
to
and
talk
gentlemen,
about
boys
that.
and girls. Well, he won't say anything about it, but he's going in, so we congratulate him.
Thank you.
But he's got him as a client, and Charlie was getting released, and he was fooling around with a knuckleball, which sometimes what we do is we see guys with good arms. And they can't hit. Sometimes we make pitches out of them, like Martinez is pitching at Pawtucket, he was a catcher. So they said, well, let's try this. So Charlie, has been, working as a pitcher with a knuckleball. So he's at AAA and he's doing a pretty good job.
Really?
So maybe he'll be the next Wakefield.
Another Wakefield, that's what I was going to say, another Wakefield. All right, Dick, switching again. I understand the Sox are thinking of moving their spring training site to Sarasota. How come? Any reason for this? They don't like Fort Myers, or it's not big enough, or what's the deal with that?
Basically, regardless of baseball being the game it's still a business.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
And when we came in here in 1993 at Fort Myers, this was fine for what we needed, But because of what's happened with the Red Sox, the winning 2 series, the Red Sox Nation, what's happening is it's not big enough. They want a complex. See, all these teams are moving to Arizona where they have these complexes. They have the minor league complex and the major league complex all together.
One area.
Where they're building hotels there, dormitories for players,
So it's not like
bigger
that
stadiums.
In Fort Myers.
No, in Fort Myers, the players stay at a hotel. The minor league complex is like 2 miles down the road, And it's not in the best section of Fort Myers, et cetera. And John Henry doesn't like that. And consequently, it is all about money too, because if they can get a bigger stadium that seats maybe around 10,000,
more money,
they're going to fill it, because there are a lot of Red Sox people in Sarasota that have transplanted from New England to Sarasota, Fort Myers, Naples area.
That's right.
So again, it's about having a better complex, for us to do our job better and, you know, just meet the demands of what's happening now.
These Red Sox owners don't miss a trick, do they?
Oh, no. They are probably some of the, I mean, they're great baseball people, plus they're great marketeers. They know how to get to the fans. I mean, they've done a great job with Red Sox Nation and fans.
Everything they do.
Look what they've done with their ballpark. I mean, they've done amazing things.
Amazing, yeah. Quite good.
Yeah.
Dick, I'm going to switch topics again. Sure. Any thoughts about Roger Clemens and all the, quote, stuff that's going on with Roger? Any thoughts? And you feel free not to comment.
Oh, no. You know, basically, you know, for me, it's been disappointing in the sense that knowing Roger as long as I've known him, okay, and knowing how hard a worker he was, okay, obviously there is some suspicion. With everybody, including myself, okay? Sure. I never saw anything when I was there, okay, except hard work on his part, all right? I've always felt that Roger was somewhat stubborn about some things and had this kind of Texas mentality, you know, more is better, bigger is better, you know, and so that's why there's a lot of suspicion. But until he says he did it, until there's more evidence that proves that he did it, I'm going to lean, you know, on his side because I respect him a lot. He's always been good to me and my family. So as much as I'm disappointed about the things I'm hearing, I'm going to, you know, back off on any decision making how I feel until it comes out and he either admits it or it's proven he didn't. You know, I feel bad about the whole situation.
Well, the steroids, and then there's also something about an affair with a younger girl and all that stuff.
I know it.
So it seems as though when one thing comes out about a player, they find another.
Right.
They find another.
Everybody comes out of the woodwork, right?
Yeah, they're all coming out like it's. Well, it's too bad that that's happening. Now, Dick, you mentioned in your time in the major leagues, you never saw people using steroids or any kind of illegal substances, did you?
No.
Because Jose Canseco, again, whether you believe him or not, he says that 80% of major leaguers use steroids in his book and books, his second book. 80%, he says. Now, maybe they did years ago. I don't know. Maybe they don't as much now since there's so much publicity. Well, now, from your viewpoint.
My viewpoint, I was around when Canseco was playing, obviously, all right? And most of us believed it was the weights and things of that nature, okay? Obviously, it was going on. But, I mean, we never saw it, or I never saw it, okay, openly in any locker room and stuff like that, okay? If it was going on, it was going on, you know, in private somewhere, etc., behind doors. We had heard some things, you know, but I didn't see anything. I would never say, or I would never think that there were 80% of players doing it. I would say it was, but he's, you know, he's trying to sell books.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I guess his house now is being auctioned off, and he needs money, etc.
No money.
I'm not saying that it wasn't happening, and I'm not saying that he doesn't know stuff about it. Okay, but I think it's been more over-exaggerated by him because of what his intent is right now. Okay? But I'm sure it was going on, obviously, you know, because it's coming. Other players have been guilty, you know, Palmeiro and McGuire and people these days, and of course, you know, in New York, et cetera, with Giambi. But not 80%, I don't think, ever.
Well, that was a number he threw out. I want to get your opinion. Now, what about Manny? Manny wants to play in Boston, he says, for 6 more years. Can he play for 6 more years at this level, and will the Sox pay him this kind of money, or the kind of money he's getting? Just your opinion.
I don't think the Sox are going to give him any 6-year contract. Okay,
I would think not as well. And for $20 million a year.
And as great a hitter as he is, okay, if you notice, and again, this is just conjecture, he's been missing a lot of fastballs lately. Okay, you know, sometimes as you get older, you don't catch up with the fastball as well as you used to. But and again, you know, Manny really works hard at what he does, and has made himself a great hitter. And a lot of people don't realize how hard he does work. But his flamboyancy, his being, you know, the person he is, I'm sure, you know, if he continues to hit, you know, that the Sox may consider picking up his option, because he could probably play for 2 or 3. I don't think he's going to play for 6 more years.
No, well, he says that.
He says that, okay, et cetera. But notice every player that's in their contract year always seems to go above and beyond the call of duty.
Have a great year.
You know, do everything he can. Instead of now he's taking interviews, and now he's kissing babies and all that stuff. You know. But he is a great guy. He's a little, you know, like I say, flaky is the word I could use, stuff like that.
They'll admit that.
But the teammates love him, and he works hard, and he's there for them. He just does some offbeat things.
Yeah, well, that's Manny. Let's switch again. How about Schilling? Do you think Schilling can come back? I know he's going to start throwing soon. Do you think he can do it?
I don't know if he, you know, I talked to him a little bit in spring training, you know, and, you know, he originally wanted to opt for surgery, but then the Red Sox didn't want to do it, so he's going along with the program. But I'm a little doubtful about this year because of